How you guys doing? Hope your day is going very fine. I can talk about Nigeria and the unity of Nigeria. If we must move forward as a country, if we must get into alignment and into track in the next 10 years of our life, we must first tackle the root cause of our problem. The first problem we need to solve is unity of Nigeria, the unity. Okay, we need a president who is tribalized, right? Who is a Pan-African and a Pan-Nigeria. We don't need a Yoruba president, we don't need an Igbo president, we don't need a Hausa president, all right? We need a Pan-Nigeria president, someone who first thinks as a Nigeria before even his tribe or his religion. That's the person we need at this point, right? Not someone who acts across religion or ethnic line. That person will drag us backward, just like Buhari did. He empowered his kinsmen, who then went into villages and destroying people and destroying their livestock. And when these people are arrested, in 24 hours they are released. That's why we are here today, right? The APC government brought this curse upon us. So what we need now is a tribalized president who does not care about religion or tribe, who thinks as a Nigeria, who thinks as an African. That's the only person that can unify us as a people, right? This one-sided appointment that is all over the country must stop, right? If we care about progress, if we care about prosperity as a people, we must first have a stand, right? Our identity should be Nigeria, not as Yoruba, not as Igbo. Our core identity must be one, Nigerian, right? This is the only way we can move forward as a people. This is the only solution, right? Any president who is serious about change, about transformation, must first address this issue. As it stands now, Nigeria is like a shepherdless country, a country that has no shepherd or a leader. Everybody do what they like without consequence. Everybody think that we are attacking ourselves on social media, abusing ourselves, abusing our tribe. This is one of the issues that incurred the Rwanda genocide. This tribal bigotry issue, tribal everywhere, this was ignite the issue in Rwanda. And we as a country, we are standing as in a time bomb. Nigeria is standing on a time bomb, right? We must address this issue. Our presidents, our governors are the people who are igniting these issues. When they are campaigning across religion, they are campaigning across ethnic, right? And the people are watching, they are copying. So what we need first as a country is unity. Unity across all this setup. We must not start thinking as Nigeria, not as an Igbo or as an Hausa person. That's the way we can grow. If you think this is not possible, go and read about Julius Nyerere. Every problem we are facing today, it is not peculiar to us. Other countries actually faced this before. But they came in a time where a president who was detribalized came into office, who first unite the people across, above all this division, and unite them as a as a nation, national, like in one let's say in one place, right? Which is national interest, right? We must bring national interest above our religion and our ethnic or tribe. That's the way we must prosper. The president, please, you have a lot of work to do, and I must tell you, you are part of the problem. Because if we should go and take a statistic of your cabinet today, everybody around you are mostly Yoruba. I know this is due to security reasons, I understand, but there's a way you can do it that it should not be obvious. But now it is very obvious that you are more of a Yoruba president than a Nigeria president. We cannot move like this. Julius Nyerere had these same issues. What he did was he unites the people and make that's why if you call an African leader today, you cannot ignore Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, right? Even Paul Kagame did the same thing. After the genocide, he united the people as Rwanda. That's why today in Rwanda, you cannot ask person what tribe you are from. They will not answer you. And if you are ahead and the government see you asking that question, you'll be jailed, right? So everybody here identifies as Rwanda, not as Tutsi or as Hutus. We must come to this stage as a nation to tackle this problem. If not, we will continue to beat around the bush, fight ourselves without no meaningful project. If the president is able to unite the people across all this problem and unite them as a Nigeria, then everybody's goal will be the prosperity of Nigeria. But now, a lot of people feel abandoned. Some people feel not carried along in this Nigeria. A lot of people feel not carried along. I was even reading a few weeks ago that the Nigeria state is trying to erase the Igbo from its history. How can you bring first of all, you banned history, now you brought history back, you amended it, you kicked the third largest tribe in Nigeria out of your history book. and you expect the Igbo people to use that book for in their schools. Is this not evil? Instead of solving issues, you are creating more issues for yourself. So you want them to be patriotic to the Nigeria cause, when the Nigeria cause is not patriotic to them. They're not recognizing their efforts, their sacrifice to this nation. The effort the Igbos have brought, Igbos has brought a lot of development to this country. That's why anywhere you see them, you see they try to develop. Even where I come from, in Edo State, in my hometown, you see a lot of businesses around my town. It was brought by the Igbos to my part of Edo State, right? These people have contributed a lot to the GDP of Nigeria. But all this are ignored because they don't have political presence in Nigeria, right? We should first unite the country. And I must tell you, the president we have on board now, he does not even care about uniting the people. What him and the people around him care about is winning the election. If you win the election, and after everything you think you are doing and you will do, count for nothing because the people are not united, and the Nigeria cause, a lot of people don't believe in the Nigeria dream or the Nigeria cause. You end up going home without a meaningful achievement. But anybody that will come on board, that will unite the country across these lines, will be a hero forever. Today, Buhari is not a hero. Why? Because he was not able to achieve this goal, unification of Nigeria. You see, he's not a hero. He might be a hero to his tribe, but as in Nigeria, he's not a hero. And no Nigerian politician can be a hero in the national stage without achieving this first. Other countries have heroes. I just mentioned Just Neri. I know he's dead already, but he's a hero. I just mentioned Paul Kagame. He's alive. He's a hero, right? A lot of people today in the Africa scene who are heroes, both dead and alive. Why? Because they were able to carry the people along, unify them, right? To start seeing as one. Anywhere you go today in Kigali, you see that oneness among them. Oneness. I'm not saying the man is a perfect man. Paul Kagame is the perfect. No, he's not a perfect man. If he's a perfect man, he will not be alive. He will just go to heaven. But it's a work in progress. The people see him as a leader. If you ask them questions, they are like a lot of. Sometimes even the things you say I post online is not everything that I post. Sometimes I ask them, because a lot of people are scared to being on tape, right? But if you ask them private questions, they'll tell you that this man is a good man. This man has the country at heart. Right? One of the things I love about this man, Paul Kagame, is the policy implementation, right? Policy implementation of this country. There is no big man or small man. If you break the rule, you go for it. You cannot make a mistake today. You say, okay, let me call Oga to help me. Like Nigeria, when someone make a mistake, or when someone breaks the rule, he'll tell you, do you know who I am? Because he has someone in power. So he feels invisible. He can do anything without repercussion. Right? And in Nigeria, the rules are for the poor. The rules are for the poor in Nigeria. Once a big man breaks the rule, let's assure there is no consequences. But when a poor man do the same crime, he ends up in jail. Go to the prisons today. A lot of people have been there because they insult one big man. They are still waiting trial today. Right? You see a case that normally in other countries, if you make a mistake or you break the law, you are being to the station within 24 hours. You are before the judge, who will sentence you or vindicate you. Right? But in Nigeria, you will be waiting trial for years. One big man will just be giving police money to make sure you are in that place. How can we grow as a people in this kind of mindset that we carry? Right? Our generation is almost going now. The generation that destroyed this country before, they are still in power. People who have destroyed this country over the time, and they are still, even now that they are getting old, one will expect that they will try to make things right before they die. They are continuing to destroy this country. Right? They are using a whole country economy to compensate themselves. A whole country's future. You just bring someone who doesn't do anything because he's your tribe man or he's among your religion. You use our own future to compensate him. You give someone a minister of education who does not have, you have no business being there because he works for you. Right? You just bring someone take tasks. Go and be handling the tax reforms. Who has no business being there? With all the natural resources we have. None of the Nigerian people have. I'm not saying like we have not benefited one thing from the Nigeria. Why other countries built a billion economy with just oil? Go to a lot of Dubai. In 50 years, they achieved all those. We are 60 something years without. We are not able to solve one single problem. We are not able to solve one single problem as a country. 60-something years, my dear. 60-something years without an achievement. And the fourth is a fool forever, right? 60-something years. Yes, all we do is try to propaganda that we are doing here and that we are not here. We are once, I think, the second biggest oil reserve in the world. I think we are third now, fourth. And you tell me that we are making, what progress are we making? If you compare, if you compare yourself with Dubai, they'll bring story to cover up. If you compare yourself with Malaysia, they'll bring story. What about small Rwanda? Now, small Rwanda. What can you say now? Lagos economy alone is bigger than Lagos economy is bigger than Rwanda 10 times. 10 times. That tells you that what we need is leadership. We already have the money. We have everything that we need to develop. We need right thinking leaders to prosper our country. Right thinking leaders that will implement policies that will affect the people, that will reorient the people about progress and about prosperity. That is what we need. So if you're thinking that the money is never a problem, money can never be the problem of Nigeria. No problem. No, money is not a problem because we have all it takes to be a first world country. At least even a second world country at least. We have all it takes, right? How many years was Dubai built for? How many years was Singapore built for? Before our very own eyes, Rwanda is building now. What do you have to say? Dear President, I'm not here to castigate you. I'm just here to make you understand that the problem we have is from the top. And the top is where you stay. So you must rethink. You must first unite the people. Unite the people. Once you unite the people, then the people will have a sense of belonging in the new Nigeria dream. Once you are able to change this strategy and the people feel loved and feel cared for, then they'll buy into the dream that you're trying to create. Look at Burkina Faso now. People are bringing their own money to buy cement, to buy everything. Look at Ethiopia. Ethiopia built that dam just by the contribution of their citizens. Why? Because they first unite them across religion, ethnic line, right? Then the people bought into the dream that, okay, this is ours. But that can happen in Nigeria. It's because the president and the government care only about the politicians. That's why even a politician in Nigeria shit, the government will weigh the shit to know if the politician is eating very well or he needs medication. How can the president, you pay for medical bill for them, newspaper, car, house, like all this for a man, one person? Why the people are going through a lot? The people are suffering. Nobody care about them. If you want to be successful today in Nigeria is to go into politics. It is not supposed to be like that. Politics is a call to service, not to get rich, right? How can you say to buy a local government form from some state is 100 million? If I buy a form for 100 million, do you think I'm going there to work? Isn't to make money, right? So all this must stop. Now you see Togri everywhere. In Rwanda, if you look at the video I made yesterday in Kigali here, if you are walking across the streets, nobody harasses you. But in Lagos, you see that everywhere. Sometimes I'm walking in Lagos, people who are supposed to be married and have kids at home start insulting me. Why? Because I don't give them money. If I'm going to buy something, I'm going to buy clothes, you see that everywhere following you around. All this must stop. Just imagine, even Lagos doesn't even have a good drainage system. Yeah, look at the country that was built in 30 years, has all that. When you tell country is developed, it does not really mean you have big horizon, excavator, nice buildings everywhere. That is not development. That's not the first key of development. The first step of development is unification of the people that know and making them understand that they are part of the government. That is the first place of development. That's where even after Singapore developed, the people were not developing. So the Singapore government had to implement a policy that reoriented the people. They were sometimes, if you listen to Prime Minister Lee, you see that they were even they spit everywhere in Singapore. They will piss in their excavator because the people were not oriented. They got to a stage when they were reoriented, they start acting as a first world country. Right? Today, everywhere drainage, everywhere smelling, holes everywhere, black. What are we doing? What are we doing as a people? You think it just because you have horizon everywhere, Lagos and everywhere, that's development? No, the first step of the development is to try and remove all those people from the streets. All those people who those are hazards to tourists. Those are hazards to people who come to Lagos. Those people must be kicked out of the street. They must be oriented and they must be taken to rehab. First. Then, secondly, those people who feel that I'm a Yoruba, I own Lagos, that orientation must stop. If you go to New York, nobody tells you I own in New York. Anybody who can afford the place should stay in the place. Alright? That's what I'm telling you about the unification above tribe and religious settlement. The people who have contributed more to Lagos are the Igbos, even more than the Yorubas. When it comes to development, those people have put their life into that state. Yet they are not feel welcome in the state they have contributed a lot into. They are not allowed to own a seaport in their places, because you know if they have that, the Yoruba will feel the impact of the negative impact of what the Igbos are in Lagos. Right? I know a lot of people will feel bad with all I have said, and they will feel attacked. And I don't actually care. What I care about is how the president on board, Mohammed Tinubu, His Excellency Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, can succeed is to unite the country. Once you unite the country, the people will sing your praise. We don't even care if you can do this in 4 years. Implement laws that tackle these tribal divisions, right? This is what have caused insecurity. If I can go to North, and just imagine that Nigeria moves from small towns to metropolitan. You know what's a metropolitan? Like New York City. Nobody cares about if you are this or this. If the apartment in that place is $1 million, if you cannot afford it, you go to any part of the country, right? That's what a metropolitan is. Anywhere you go, you can afford it, you stay there. Nobody cares about you where you're from. Go to Singapore. Nobody will tell you, okay, I'm for here. They are identified as a Chinese, not as any individual. All those places you see around, in time, government takes over everywhere. You see high rising everywhere. If you cannot afford it, you go. You can be see, how would I bring this thing now? In Istanbul, I've stayed in Istanbul for a few months, right? In Istanbul, one tower, one condo can take a lot of people. That means the full of Badore can stay in just one tower. With just one tower that has how many feet can house everybody in Badore, right? Just imagine that tower all over Badore. In the morning, everybody baths, take a metro bus or a train, go to work, come back and come and sleep. Nobody cares about, because I think one of the problems we have is joblessness. Unification of tribe, to unify Nigeria above tribe, religious differences, then job creation. That will bring an end to 90% of our issue. You see how people will start seeing the new country. Then you rent the upcoming generation so that they stop thinking like the old generation. Then you see how Nigeria will prosper. Thank you. Have a blessed day.